You're about to hear the raw story behind track number 4, Love Like Blind, so turn it up. Yes. Hello, everyone. Clinton Bonner here, and welcome back to Making Austin Rye, where I'm releasing a full rock album, 11 tracks in total, with the creative help of AI. The songs are all real people, and they're written by real people, initially recorded by real people too, and now performed by our AI rocker, Austin Rye. If you're new here, hit subscribe, like, and turn on those notifications as we're releasing an entire brand new track and behind the scenes making of track basically every week for 11 straight weeks. So today's track is our title track, Love Like Blind.
All things lost. Now there's nothing left that's real.
And what better way to describe it than to ask AI? This is what Grok had to say. Love Like Blind is a raw folk rock reckoning with betrayal that strips away naive illusions about love. It moves through shattered trust and lingering numbness, rejecting blind devotion, craving distance from the pain, and confronting how a lifetime can crumble in seconds while clinging to the bittersweet wish to stay unaware and simply drift far away. Grok, are you staring at my soul again? Hello. Love Like Blind is another Your Famous Friends song written in the mid-2000s, and something I brought to the band that was done in drop D, which I think is now kind of neat to hear a drop D tune mapped to what became truly a folk rock track. You'll hear it.
Come someday, I'll face my worst mistake.
What became special for me is that this song was a pure high-speed rocker in its original form. When we wrote it, I remember thinking, oh man, the Foo Fighters would crush this if they sang it. It even has this offbeat time signature bridge that, something the Foo Fighters would have done, and they'd use it from time to time in songs like, Times Like These is a good example, which is an absolute banger.
Off to a Midwest state. You say you can't explain.
With Suno, the AI I used for this music project, I knew I wanted something way more stripped down and yet still powerful. So I had to keep prompting this AI to get rid of the traditional drums. They were really, really prevalent in the original track. And I remember getting frustrated with Suno because who doesn't like yelling at robots every now and again? And it's because no matter what I was doing, even typing in prompts like take out the drums, the track would come back with drums and the vibe was like totally off from what I was trying to get done. Finally, I added the words stomp rock, like stomp rock, no drums. And I put that into the prompt. And I don't know what happened, but suddenly the wardrobe to Narnia kind of appeared before my very eyes and my ears. It unlocked a whole new world. And I was gallivanting with lions and such after that. That prompt was super, super key. One of my final additional prompts, I asked Suno to add a cello instead of like a bass guitar. I really wanted to see what would happen and kind of if we could up the folk. And man, did it produce this gorgeous cello sound that you're going to hear a lot in this track.
The more I know, the less I'll try.
Once I added the cello, man, I knew I had something special cooking here. One last Suno tip for this track, the AI, it rarely gets, it exactly how you want it. And often I'd find that it created a really cool moment, but it lacked the nuance to reserve that moment until later in the song. So here's a tip. Be prepared to need the credits, like the extra credits, to rip the tracks down and go get their full stems so you can extract elements that might make the song feel oversaturated or kind of hit prematurely. In other words, understand how to edit a little bit. I did all the stem editing right in CapCut. I used the paid version of CapCut for several different reasons, and I actually made every single one of these lyrics videos with CapCut because the captioning tool, so simple. You could really style them, and here's what that looks like once again if you missed it previously in other videos.
And what I would give just to feel.
Okay, back to the track. My favorite part of Love Like Blind, it is the instrumental breakdown and the buildup. The coolest part was it stayed true to the original version, but it just swapped out the instruments. Like all of a sudden there's a fiddle, maybe it's a violin, whatever, and there's a clap track. Instead of these more traditional bass and electric guitar vibes, you get this true folk thing, but it really still hits. I love it. Listen. Love Like Blind in this new form became something better, certainly more raw and more melodic, much more haunting, and I think even more powerful. And that's in spite of the lack of drums or electric guitar, or electric bass. When I wrapped this track, I felt I had something like that really resembled what First Aid Kit might put out. They're really, really cool. If you don't know First Aid Kit, go check them out. And I thought I had arrived at this really cool indie rock melodic thing, and it was called Love Like Blonde. I was really happy with it. And also, hey, it's the title track, right? I did not head into this process knowing what the album would be called like at all. I didn't know I'd be even using a title track. But shortly after this one was in the can, I thought, that's it. That's the album title. Don't overthink this. And I think it just fits so, so well.
All my life, taught to love like blind.
All right, that is the full story behind our title track, track number 4, Love Like Blind, off Austin Rye's debut album of the same name. Go listen to the full song right now. The link is in the description. It's the top pinned comment. I think it's on screen right here. So go off and go find yourself through it. You know, go into the wilderness, go into the mountains, do whatever you got to go do, and find yourself in this song, because I think you will. If you love the songs and this series, well, then drop a like. Make sure you comment. Tell me what your favorite part of the song is. And of course, you got to subscribe and hit the notifications so you don't miss next week's track. And if you have questions about the AI process or any of these tools, ask them in the comments. I read every single one of them, and I love sharing about this stuff. It's kind of fun. I will see you next week for track number 5, A Riot Beat, a frantic, sweeping song that brings you directly into the room of people pretending to be something more than they actually are. Here's 6 seconds of this paranoia of A Riot Beat, and bye for now. I love you. I said it.
You slide by life's conversations with different smiles.
Ask, fart noises.